Okay, I know. I done missed everything that I said, but hey, everything I caught it myself before somebody can even tell me. I caught it myself. I don't even know. I ain't even look at the comments. But welcome to Make It Make Sense. At 3 p.m.ish, I tried to go on at 3 p.m.ish, but my team lost, and I had to pump myself up to get ready to do what I was getting ready to do today. That's all that was, man. My team took an L today, and if y'all know me, I take that seriously. Like I just got through playing, and I was out there playing the game with them. But you know what I'm saying? Again, this is for entertainment purposes only, man. Don't worry about what's going on in the background. That is not mine, and I don't own the rights to that shit. But I'm just getting myself ready for what I'm about to do. This is Make It Make Sense. It's called What is Christianity? I got a guy by name Dr. Ray Hagins. He's going to break down what is Christianity. But it's not going to be the same simple shit that you do on Sundays. It's going to be a little bit different. It's going to be twisted a little bit. Not what I mean twisted, I don't mean not with the truth, but what I'm saying is it's just something to make you. And if you're one of the ones who are interested in it, you're going to be interested. But if you're not going to be interested, look, I understand and I get it. You understand what I'm saying? I get it because everything is not for everybody at this time. But without further ado, I got to play the clip, man. But again, hey, man, the topic is this. Look, this Galveston podcast presents Make It Make Sense. The topic is, what is Christianity? Okay. Before we even start the video, I'll tell you what Christianity means to me. And then maybe y'all can get an idea what Christianity means to me. It's a group of people who follow a certain person or deity, and they do their best to live accordingly to the way that example that was given to them. That's a lot of work. That's a lot of work. It's a lot of work because they said that nobody could be that. Nobody could be that. That's what that religion says. That's what that religion is. And mind you, I just said religion because that's what it is, religion. See, when you're spiritual, it's a different thing. You don't believe in a religion or believe in the story of that, if you get where I'm going. So without further ado, I gotta start my video right now. Cut that music off in the background. I'm gonna start from
in the definition of its true purpose. The subject again today is what is Christianity? So in the definition of its true purpose, and this is the Ray Hagins definition. This is not out of Webster's dictionary. All right, it's not out of any resource. This is my own personal definition. Christianity may be defined as a Euro-Gentile psycho-philosophical vehicle of spiritual and intellectual enslavement, which has as its end three things. Let me say that part again. Christianity may be defined as a Euro-Gentile psycho-philosophical vehicle of spiritual and intellectual enslavement, which has as its end three things. The first thing it has as its end is the cultural, everybody say cultural, and racial superiority of the people who created it. Did y'all hear that? The first goal is the cultural and racial superiority of the people who created it. The second thing, and say this with me, is the paralysis of analysis. Come on, say it like you mean it. The paralysis of analysis. You know what that means, brothers and sisters? Paralysis of analysis means that you don't think. You don't exercise your critical thinking faculties. People say stuff to you and you just let it go in one ear and fall inside your head wherever it may, and don't even challenge it, question it, nothing. So the second goal of this program is a paralysis of analysis by those who believe in it. And the third thing is, and everybody say this, the perpetual empowerment of the agenda intended by it. Now, did y'all get those three things?
Now, y'all make sure y'all stay with me because I know the words that he gonna put out. I know it might disinterest, some of y'all. But again, I want y'all to, he gonna get into his little groove. You know how it is when the speaker got to do and do his thing in front of a crowd. You know that whatever it is that was gifted to him, it has to come out in that hour. So all the brother doing is letting that stuff that come to him and it gifts him in that hour. Just the same thing I do. I let that stuff come to me and gift me so I can be who I want to be. You understand what I'm saying? It's just something about having a gift and knowing that you're having a gift, you know how to use that gift and you know how to use that gift well. And if you apply that to everyday living like you're supposed to, when you apply that with everyday living, then you have a comfortable way of living. You have a better belief system. If you believe in yourself, you have a better belief system. But if, like I said, what he's supposed to explain is you believe in something else, then you believe in something else. That means you're putting a lot of energy into something else and then not understanding that that's something else you're putting energy to is yourself. So don't half-ass yourself. That's the view that I'm looking at. Don't half-ass yourself. That's the view. I'm saying if you could go all the way 110, I think you're going 55 if that's the case. And if you don't know, if you're unaware, that means you're going 55. Because when you're aware, you're not going to go 55. You're going to go the whole 100. So what I'm saying, in everything that you do, you should do it all 100. Everything that you do, even if you don't love doing it, you should do it all 100. If you don't even like the situation that you're in, you should do that shit all 100. You should never do something with a little bit of regret or a little bit of anything. You need to do that shit 100. That's what the real standing on 10 is the 100. It's the 100 of people that's in the situation that they're in right now. I'm talking about today, right now. Is it the time or whatever the time is? Because it might be lagging. Where I'm at, your clock might be faster, my clock might be slower. But who cares? What does that have to do with anything about something that's put there right in front of you that's supposed to be broke down for you so you can use it, so you can get an advantage on wherever it is that you're in life? Because I know one thing about learning and applying what you learn. See, it's not about learning. Anybody can learn. Anybody can learn. Anybody can learn. Y'all seen a lot of examples when a lot of people learned anything. But when you start applying that shit you learn, that's something different. I apply it to myself, but I have to be consistent. No matter what the outcome is, or no matter what I think it is, no matter how many people watch me doing whatever it is that I'm doing, because I know they're trying to see, well, what is it that you're doing? What is it that you're trying to get across? Well, I know now that what I am getting across is getting across already, and it's getting the attention of whoever needs to get attention of. I know Jesus, he didn't even want to go back to his hometown and do anything. He didn't even want to do no miracles in his hometown because his hometown treated him just like they treat anybody from their hometown that's trying to do something. That's all I got to say about that. But again, I'm going to get back to these videos and let him explain again, what is Christianity?
Listen to me now. Listen to me. Number one, again, the cultural and racial superiority of the people who created it. Number two, the paralysis of analysis by those who believe in it. And number three, the perpetual empowerment of the agenda intended by it. In order for those, and I'm talking to you, my brothers and sisters, and those of you who are watching this, in order for those who have been misled to begin to see correctly, you must have a clear analytical understanding of the origin, of the strategies, of the mechanics, of the purpose and methods of the device that has blinded you in the first place. Yeah. You must understand what it is that's blinding you.
You're not seeking first your kingdom. What are you blinded by?
I remember reading about, I think it was Harriet Tubman that had the Underground Railroad, wasn't it? Yes. They tell me she freed 300 slaves. Ain't that what they say? Yes. According to record, she says, I would have freed more if they had known they were slaves. Isn't that deep? It's bad, brothers and sisters, when you are looking through the lenses or the paradigm of what your oppressor wants you to look through and think that you're seeing the truth. Oh, yeah. When it comes to the liberation of the African mind from European concepts, we must examine and re-examine again and again those agencies that has Europeanized our thinking until we are truly disconnected from the tentacles of their grasps. Everybody repeat this with me, please, or after me. When you adopt a God who is not in your own image, When you embrace literature that teaches you to hate yourself and love your enemy. When your oppressor and savior and your God and enslaver are one and the same, you become the principal agent in your own destruction.
You did.
Did y'all understand that paragraph?
You did that.
Now I noticed a lot of y'all just sat there and looked at me when I was trying to use a technique that we as educators use. And that is called restating what the instructor is saying, so it'll help take up residence in your mind. But again, some don't want to wake up. Now let's try that again, all right? I'm looking at you this time, and I want to see who insists on staying asleep. Repeat.
You got that friend right now. You got that partner. You got that cousin. You got that uncle. You got that auntie. You got anybody right now in your family right now. I'm talking about right now that you got a situation right there. What he just said. It's a situation just like that right there that's being said. And you just happen to be one of the people that's involved in it, and you're getting ready to watch this video, or you're going to watch it later on, or you're going to watch it right now. And then you're going to get whatever you need to get out of it, whatever source you need to get out of it. And that's what this thing is about. You know what I'm saying? You give somebody something that they need, you know what I'm saying? Your body needs shit. That's why they try to not put the shit that we need in the food that we eat now. Back then, the shit that we needed was in the food. Now they took and they replaced that shit with the whatever they replaced it with, and they give us the stuff that's a replica of what we. Come on, man. Take a breath. I'll take a breath. I'll take a breath. I'll take a deep breath. But again, man, what is Christianity? What is Christianity? What is he getting with this? Where am I going with this? I want to simply just play it because I'm not playing it because I'm the one that sit up there. Yeah. But what I'm saying is, I'm playing it on the strength of the. Okay, that man. That's not far fetched. Oh, okay, I'm gonna let him finish. Then maybe y'all not understanding.
Repeat this. When you adopt a God who is not in your own image.
You are made in his image.
When you embrace literature that teaches you to hate yourself and love your enemy, when your oppressor and savior and your God and enslaver are one and the same, you become the principal agent in your own destruction. And that's what's been happening, people. Today, I'm going to help you see, if you want to see. I got to say that now. Because I'm talking about everybody don't really want to see. I'm going to help you see, if you want to see, the deception of the Euro-Gentile powers called Christianity. The creation of Christianity and the incarnated Logos Christ was not an act or event, brothers and sisters. It wasn't something that just happened and took root. It was a process that began in the year 332 BC and went all the way up to the year 553 AD. Y'all know that's almost 800 years. Listen to this. Almost 800 years of progress in making this thing take hold in the minds of the masses. Take that back, it's almost 900 years, isn't it? Yeah. To this day, there is no historical data, archaeological or biographical evidence in existence to substantiate the life of anyone called Jesus the Christ. I don't know how many of you have ever heard of John L. Mackenzie. John L. Mackenzie is a scholar by their standards. And John L. Mackenzie, how many of you have ever heard of this thing called the Dictionary of the Bible? Y'all ever hear that? Okay, well, John L. Mackenzie is the author of the Dictionary of the Bible. And on page 432, John Mackenzie states these words, and I quote, "The writing of the life of Jesus has been a major problem in New Testament scholarship for more than 100 years. After numerous shifts of opinion, the consensus of scholars is that the life of Jesus cannot be written. The reason is that the data for an historical biography does not exist. The only sources of the life and teaching of Jesus are in the four Gospels, and I will quote them in the order in which they were written and not in the order that we've been taught. Mark first, not Matthew. Then Matthew and Luke. And then John was added in the 4th century. So then how did Jesus come into existence?
Right.
Well, let's help you understand, brothers and sisters.
And before he said something, the way he even said it, that should have put a pause. That's the way that he said it. He said first it was Mark, Matthew, and then John was the last one they added in. He's like, wait a minute. So and then you got to ask who is they? You know what I'm saying? They say it's inspired by the word of God. Okay, I get it. You saying that they was under the influence of God. That's what in the spirit of God. You was under the influence of God. You got to be under the influence of God if God has any type of domain over you like that. Until you know that you put that stuff there, you know what I'm saying? You the one that's really, you know what I'm saying? You calling out your life. It's like a play caller right now, man. It's like somebody. It's like the football coaches or the basketball coaches who's setting the play and they keep running that play. That one play successful. That one play that I'm talking about is the gift that God gave you. Come on now. I'm going to add it together and put it together how it's supposed to go. I'm going to put it together and piece it together all nicely for us to understand it. But I got to get in the trenches, man. You got to get in the trenches and you got to start to break this stuff down. Because now, if you one that's listening, you know that some of the stuff that was told to us, you know what I'm saying, when we was coming up, being where we at right now, some of that stuff is no, that's when we look at it, that's not the way that it was meant. That was not the way that it was intended for. And vice versa. You understand what I'm saying? It's all about, they say, okay, say you dislike something, but you say you was allergic to it. I like to do that. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people say they're allergic to it, but they really just dislike it. So they'll say that they're allergic to it just to let the person know how serious it is that they cannot have none of that substance. So you got to use that on a level that, okay, you got spiritual and you got worldly. You know what I'm saying? If you get away from the world, you won't be so caught up in being a whirlwind. And next thing you look up, your age, and it's you just thinking about, you know what I'm saying, versus, okay, I can call all the shots and call how I want my life to be. Therefore, when the end comes, it can be nice and sweet. It's two ways that I gave you, and it's two lanes that I just drove. It was two ways to get to the kingdom, because that's what you got to seek first. You got to seek first your kingdom, because your kingdom's got to be whatever it is that you living in right now. That's your kingdom. So take a look at it right now. Take a look at your kingdom while you got a chance to look at your kingdom and tell me, is this the kingdom that you were seeking? Because if this not the kingdom that you were seeking, you need to seek somewhere else, because seeking over there is not getting you where you need to be at this time or this moment. Yes, there can be a possibility. Yes, some of you right now are in the spot that you're supposed to be, and that's good. And you're supposed to be doing what you're doing because you know the ingredient and you know the code. Once you know the code and the ingredients, all you need is the ingredients, though. Somebody else might have to give you the ingredients, or guess what? Create your own ingredients. You create your own ingredients, then that's somebody can use yours and make a recipe just like yours, but it's not going to be just as good as yours. That's why we don't give up the recipe that Big Mama had, because we ain't giving that up, because Big Mama taking that to the grave, because that was hers. But somebody picked it up because they say, okay, I like this particular, and they learned the trace of it, and then they put their stamp on it. Hey, it's just however you want to put it, whatever kingdom, whatever realm you want to put it in, whatever universe, whatever dimension you want to put it in, because that's how they doing it in our face, especially with the CERN, especially with the Mandela effect. And if you on this page, you know this what this Make It Make Sense is. And I want to put some stuff out there. What is Christianity? What did they do with Christianity? Because to me, I think the most meanest people on the world is Christians, because they'll pray for you and cut your ass out in the same breath. And then that threw the race. That's just like something that was illegal on the field that has rules, and then somebody threw the flag. I had to throw the flag. You know what I'm saying? Yes, I had a lot of friends that, you know what I'm saying, by me throwing the flag, that I'm not going to be able to conversate with them no more, because our conversation not going to be same, because they're going to be like, okay, here he go again. Well, I know if I got to be around anybody that's around me and they got to say, here we go again, I don't need to be around them anyway because they're not going to help the process of where I know I'm supposed to be. And if you are in a situation like that, I just gave you the keys to free yourself. You got to cut it off like that little meat they make them yarrows. You know how smooth that shit, it look like they use a plastic butter knife to cut that shit just real smooth, like, you know what I'm saying? That's how you got to try to take, that's how you take assaults. That's how you take attacks. That's how you take people slandering your name. That's how you take somebody just saying something and doing something bad with your name in it and involved in it, trying to smear your image, you know what I'm saying? But how could somebody smear your image if you know that you standing on 10 and not the 10 that you were standing on before, because that shit was a lie. Huh? Make it make sense. I'm gonna put it up there. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. What is Christianity, man? Let's go. Let's let Mr. Ray Hagins, because I got a lot of stuff. I got a series coming up with this young man. We're gonna go all the way to Christmas with the series I got. I need y'all to stick with me because we're gonna go all the way to Christmas with the series that I'm supposed to bring out on Make It Make Sense. That's what this is. We're gonna make it make sense. We're gonna talk about it and we're gonna get to the bottom of it. Because I know I like a response that just came on there I wasn't even expecting. But I know. Come on, let's just keep going.
What it is that we were born into, raised by, and never really got a historical understanding of its origin.
Never.
Everybody say Alexander. Alexander. Now, as you know, in school, our youth are taught to call this man Alexander the Great. By the way, this is a real historical person. Alexander, in my opinion, there was nothing great about him. So I call him Alexander the Greek. I call him Alexander the Barbarian. See, it depends on whose perspective you're looking at. Now, if you're looking at it from a European perspective, then you might say Alexander the Great. I mean, if you look at Christopher Columbus from an Italian or Spaniard perspective, you may say he was a great man. You look at Christopher Columbus from the perspective of the Native American, he was a murderer. You follow what I'm saying? I mean, so it depends on whose perspective you're looking at this thing from. This man was an invader. He invaded Egypt in 332 BC, and when he went in, he removed the existing pharaoh and put himself in his place. But check this out. You just walk up into a land, take the king off his throne, and you take the throne and you sit on it. But yet you have not the slightest idea of what it means to be a king in this culture. He insisted that the ancient Egyptian priest society would recognize him as a god, small G-O-D. See, brothers and sisters, one of the things you need to understand is in ancient Kemet, all of the pharaohs were considered gods, small G-O-D. And Alexander insisted that the secret order of Kemet would recognize him as a god and accept him into their spiritual institutions.
Let us in our image.
Alexander knew that in order to effectively rule Egypt, he had to be accepted into their secret order. The Egyptians had a good habit in practice, though, and I wish we could kind of return to it today. The Egyptians did not accept, hear me now, hear me, they did not accept persons from other races or cultures into their sacred order. Y'all hear that? What did I just say?
They didn't let nobody infiltrate. They didn't let nobody infiltrate.
Not into their secret order, right? Huh? They didn't accept other races. They didn't accept other cultures into their secret order. So therefore, the priest of Egypt wasn't about to make Alexander a part of their society. So what he did,
think outside the box,
is he demanded,
just for entertainment purposes only,
that they make him a god or a Sarah. This was the world's first form of racism or white supremacy. Alexander died in 323. The Egyptians never did acknowledge him as a god. So guess what happened? His successor was known as Ptolemy the First. Now, so y'all understand, whenever y'all hear the word Ptolemy, I'm talking about invader pharaohs. I'm talking about European pharaohs that didn't belong in Egypt, but they had usurped the throne. And Ptolemy the First, nicknamed Lagi or Lagi, assumed the throne, and his nickname was Soter. Everybody say Soter. Soter. You may want to write it down. It's spelled S-O-T-E-R. Soter, brothers and sisters, means savior. Oh, shucks now. Watch how this thing comes into play. Y'all can say, that's how this happened. Soter, his nickname means savior.
Stay with me.
Well, and he was called that because of his many military conquests. Soter also tried to get himself accepted into the ancient Egyptian priest's order, but he too was rejected. Why? He wasn't an Egyptian. In fact, he was a European who didn't belong in Kemet in the first place. Yeah, buddy.
He wasn't African.
However, now this is how this stuff makes me so angry. However, he found a council of what is called Melkite Coptic Egyptians. Priests in the city of Menepher, or what is now known today as Memphis, Egypt. And guess what they did? Look at the person next to you and say, no matter what, somebody gonna be a sellout.
Somebody gonna be a sellout.
Every time, brother, somebody is gonna be a sellout.
It's a Judas somewhere.
And that's what these Melkite Coptic Egyptians did. They sold out. They violated the ancient principles of not allowing foreign cultures or people into their secret order. And these priests in Memphis complied with the request of Ptolemy the First and made a composed a title for him. And what they did is they took the two names that were very special names in Egypt. The first name was Asar, who we call Osiris. The second name was Apis, which is the sacred bull in Kemet. They combined the two names, Asar Apis, and came up with the word Serapis. Write it down, S-E-R-A-P-I-S. Can I educate y'all today? Y'all don't mind this education now, do you? See, the only way you're going to be free is educating your African mind. S-E-R-A-P-I-S. They came up with the word Serapis. Now, the only place that Ptolemy the First was accepted was there in Memphis. Throughout the rest of Egypt, they rejected him. So in his anger, let me tell you what the brother did. He went throughout Egypt and shut down all of the temples. Yeah, buddy. And this was the beginning of the elimination of the spiritual unity that the priests of Kemet maintained with each other. Serapis was the bearded icon that became known as the Savior.
The cold part is,
y'all seen these pictures of a bearded Christ? Y'all ever notice Jesus always got a beard?
Yes. Why he got a beard?
After the closing of the temples in Kemet, Ptolemy the First, or Soter, confiscated all of the divine, sacred, inspired writings which were written on papyrus scrolls and stored them in the only remaining temple in Memphis, and that was the one where they coronated him and made him satir. From that time on, every Ptolemy ruler, every Roman ruler became what is called the vicar of Serapis. Even up to today, we still have a man called the vicar of Serapis, or Christ, and he's known as the Pope. Can I give y'all some more information? All right. Everybody say Ptolemy the Fifth.
Ptolemy the Fifth.
And the Rosetta Stone. All right. Now let's come up a few hundred years. Now, just a couple hundred years, if that far.
I'm letting you cook.
In the year 197 to 195 BC, guess what they did, brothers and sisters? There was this stone that was created by a new generation of Melkite Coptic Egyptians who made up the general council of priests and priestesses in the Dionysian temple in Egypt, in Memphis, the same city. This stone was created to celebrate the first commemoration of the coronation of Ptolemy V. And Ptolemy V's name was Epiphanes.
Whoa. Whoa.
His nickname was Eucharistos. Everybody say that, Eucharistos. One more time, say it. Eucharistos. One more time. What word do you hear in there that's very special in the Catholic Church? Eucharist. Right. The ritual that was created in honor of Ptolemy V, Epiphanes Eucharistos, was called the Eucharist and attached to the image of Serapis. Now follow this thing. Here you have this image of what we now today call the Christ, and now they have created this ritual of drinking some blood and eating some flesh, and attach that ritual to this image, and now you see how it gets connected there. This ritual was also made a part of his title, and this ritual became the first order of service in the Dionysian and other religious temples in Alexandria and Antioch. The Roman Catholic Church, who did I say? The Roman Catholic Church, brothers and sisters, has deceived the world. I'll say it again. The Roman Catholic Church has deceived the world. Y'all hear me? They have deceived the world by teaching that this.
If they, for entertainment purposes only, allegedly did that, then everything that they told us in the beginning was a lie. And the reason why I got real soft in my voice, because when I first started to make it make sense, my first lesson was they lied to us in the beginning. In the beginning, it was a lie. That's exactly what it was. In the beginning, it was a lie. Now, you know, in the beginning, if it was a lie, I'll say it one more time so it can. I wanted to slide into your. In the beginning, it was a lie. So in the beginning, that was not the beginning. So if that's not the beginning, everything that they told to us, come on now. Okay, for each his own though. You got to find out individually, is each story that you read, is it valid? Did it really happen, or is it an algorithm, allegory? You understand what I'm saying? So that's all we here to do. You know, we ain't here to say we side with this or we side with that. We just, for the ones who want to figure it out, we try to figure it out. You feel me? That's what it is. Come, make it make sense. That's why I say make it make sense. About a good hour. You know what I'm saying? We're going to put this, what is Christianity? And he breaking it down. What he basically saying is, look, man, if you force fed some shit your whole life and you ain't had no choice but to believe it, and you believed it for face value. You never studied really. You never. I don't even know that's not called not studying. I'm just looking at it like that's why I just keep looking at it like, man, this whole time this nigga pulled this cover over your face and you didn't even know. You didn't even know.
Ritual is something called the Lord's Supper. This ritual existed long before Jesus was even born. The Roman Catholic Church still honors Ptolemy V Epiphanies to this very day in what is called the Epiphany.
That's right.
Where do you think they got the word from? The Epiphany, from Epiphanes Eucharistos. Also called the Little Christ. And guess when they celebrate it? Every year. From December 26th through January the 6th. And on the January the 6th, it's called the 12th night. The Epiphany. Well, that's how all this stuff started happening. Well, then it goes up a few more hundred years. You got all this stuff going on, and we're going to deal with it in depth as we deal with the council meetings in our 9 o'clock session in our midweek study. But now I want to touch on the 5 council meetings. The ecumenical councils of the Roman Catholic Church were the events, what did I say? Yeah. The events that completely transformed what began with Ptolemy I Soter into the Euro-Gentile religion that dominates the Western world today through these Roman Catholic councils. You see, brothers and sisters, let me make it plainer to you. Approximately 305 AD, somewhere around that time period, 305 AD, there was a great controversy between 2 factions of Egyptian priests, the Melkite Coptic Egyptians and the exterior Coptic Egyptian priests. And this faction went on over the sacred writings.
Oh man, they put
over the what?
They disrespected each other.
In other words, the sacred writings were of Egyptian origin.
Yes, their own ethnic.
Long before there was a Matthew, long before, in fact, take that back, long before there was a concept of Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, or Isaiah for that matter, or Ezekiel, or Daniel. The ancient sacred writings were written by the scribes and sacred authors of ancient Kemet. They wrote the words of the gods or the Metuneta on papyrus scrolls, and they kept them in the temples. And the Roman Empire became so powerful and such a tyrant that they demanded complete, absolute control. So they ended up securing these sacred writings.
Allegedly.
And these writings were handed to the Roman Emperor Diocletian. This controversy centered around the Serapis image. Follow this well. They were actually having an argument over this image.
The image, though. We were made in our image,
which the Roman Empire had decided to force upon the people.
Well, we serve both sides.
There was this brother.
Did we serve both
sides? Thank God there's always somebody that's willing to stand up for the truth. There was this brother named Arius from Alexandria, a black man, an African, who stood up and said, wait a minute, I want y'all to know something here. I don't know, maybe he's a great ancestor of mine. I don't know. He stood up and said, I want y'all to know something. I want y'all to know that this image, this bearded figure that has become so popular, who we're all calling Soter or Savior, I want y'all to know that that image is a fabrication. All right. It was made up. to please this white pharaoh.
Yes.
Well, people had begun to accept this thing. And for him to come along and say some stuff like this, it was causing some problems. So it literally resulted in a council meeting spearheaded. See, when Constantine came into power, the Roman emperor, that all this war was going on over this image of Serapis. And when he came into power in 323 AD, he decided to convene a council to expand the worship of the Serapis image throughout East Africa, Europe, and Southwest Asia. Now, follow this, people. In order for Constantine to do this effectively, he needed the spiritual validation of the exterior Coptic religious community. He already had the Melkite Coptic Egyptian community. He needed the exterior Coptic religious community to back him up. So guess what he did? Again, everybody say sell out. Lord have mercy. Y'all, this stuff ain't just happening today. The sellout's been going on for a long time. He found a sellout.
What's up, everybody that's watching?
He approached this bishop whose name was Sylvester. And he went to Sylvester and told Sylvester, listen, man, let me tell you something. I'm the Pope. I'm the HWIC. I guess I should say HNIC, huh? In the real sense of the word.
100, one thigh wow.
I mean, I'm the emperor. I'm Constantine, and I want to be recognized in the Egyptian order.
Yeah, we want to. All of us want to.
What in the world is it about Egypt?
What is it that we do?
That white folks still trying to get up in there.
All right.
Y'all hear what I'm saying? This ain't just start. It's something about the genius of Africa, the genius of Egypt. When they go there, they're in awe and they want to become a part of it. But they know that they have no ancestral connection to Egypt. So they have to try to command their way in. He went to Sylvester and said, listen, man, you are an Egyptian priest. I need you to do something for me. I need you to use your authority, Sylvester, and baptize me and make me an Egyptian through this ritual.
Uh-oh.
If you do this, I'm going to do something for you. You scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. Is this thing making sense here? So Sylvester, buddy.
What's Sylvester?
Baptized Constantine.
Baptized Constantine.
In the Egyptian sacred order. And that made Constantine a part of the belief system of ancient Kemet.
Yes.
Not really in his heart. You follow what I'm saying?
Just by his presence.
But in order to rule effectively, he knew this was necessary. Now, what the church has done, what the Christians have done, is they tell you that Constantine became a Christian. No. See, there was no Christianity at this time.
No, he created it.
Please understand this. What existed at this time was the ancient religion of the Northeast African people. And these Europeans wanted to be a part of it. So Sylvester baptized Constantine, and Constantine in turn made Sylvester the head of the Roman Church.
Yeah,
check this out. This thing is deep. It's called politics. Same stuff goes on today. You see, Constantine's main purpose was to get the Serapis image accepted, because the Serapis image,
and that's what we get stuck on today, an image. early in his speech, he was talking about how he got this picture, and his grandma would look up the picture and sing to this picture and cry to this picture. And of course, it was a picture of Jesus. And I'm just saying, I look back and I look back at the generation that was just waiting on Jesus to come back to save us all. But if they only knew that he did not come back yet to save us, and we still doing the same things that we was doing since you was gone, then I wonder how. Then I wonder how the thinking process be then. See, when you start thinking for yourself, you start, that'll cause depression. It'll cause depression if you just start thinking about it and you just not catching on to what's really going on. You know what I'm saying? You wake up, go to work, get off, eat. You got to come home and eat and interact. Then go to sleep, do that shit again every day until it's vacation time or it's time off or you done utilize your time off. That's what it done boiled down to. And you done figured that out. So now you, instead of just, putting your mind on that, now you want to, okay, so let me see what changed me and what changed the way, and what came about that made me change whatever it was that I was doing, knowing that whatever I was doing, it was not giving me no results whatsoever. You're in a position right now, you need to, it's one thing you need to do. And if you're in a position like that, there's only one thing you can do. You have to identify the situation that's holding you. You have to identify the situation that's holding you. Please identify the situation that is holding you, because once you identify the situation that is holding you, you'll be way more successful in your decision making. Once you know that everything that happened to you was not a punishment or a mistake, it was just something to get you to where it is that you put yourself to be. You're going to go as far as wherever you put yourself to be. You're going to go as far as that, wherever you put yourself to be. Wherever you put yourself to be, if you put yourself to be in a family man with the relationship and the house and all that, you put yourself there. If you put yourself to just live by the land, you pick the life where anything can happen. Anything, everything nothing's promised to you tomorrow. It's the same thing for the life I just mentioned before that, but it don't seem like it on the scale, because it seems like one person got their stuff together. It seems like the other person don't. But they both on borrowed time. You understand what I'm saying? They both on a situation to where they one stroke away from, hey, cutting it off eternally, and you can't cut it on no more, not in that same skin. You got to come back if you coming back, or you might want to go explore. I don't know. But it's skins, just like they tell us, it's different bodies. You know what I'm saying? You see that fallen star, you might think you need to make a wish, but you just don't know. Another soul coming in and came into that, broke into that, and jumped into that pregnancy, and you know what I'm saying? But hey, it's for entertainment purposes only. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. I don't know what the hell I'm saying. I'm just sitting up here talking because I ain't got shit else to do, and I got a microphone in my hand. Do you understand the plan? I'm gonna play my boy again so we can get some more nuggets. I'm gonna wrap it up in a few, and it's all gonna be 100. I know that I keep doing this. I know the reason why. I ain't doing this for fun. I'm doing this because I ain't trying. I'm doing it. I'm not trying. You can listen to these words and get wise. Or you can say, I ain't part of the world and not be wise. Oh, shit.
Was European. It was the Christ. Y'all following what I'm saying?
Follow what he's saying.
So Sylvester began to set up his own council of bishops and clergymen who went along with Constantine's program. Ain't that something? If you can just get a few people to sell out, man. Y'all, do you think that we're going to have a time where the black community will stop having sellouts? How many of y'all think we'll have it? That day is coming? You don't think that day is coming? Well, something's going to have to happen. Well, when Sylvester put together his council to support Constantine's program, his council grew by appointment. Of course, he appointed his own flunkies to it. And of course, through this, they started the foundation for what we now know today as Christianity.
Foundation.
By studying the council meetings of Nicaea in 325 AD,
Foundation.
Constantinople, the first council in 381 AD, the Council of Ephesus, and I said that with emphasis because this is Ephesus, the Council of Ephesus in 431 AD, the Council of Chalcedon in 451 AD. When you study these 5 councils, brothers and sisters, which we are going to do over the next few weeks in our midweek study, you can clearly see how this religion came into being. This religion is not about freeing you.
No.
Y'all sleep if you want to. Tell the truth. It's not about freeing you. In fact, the people who fabricated it know it don't exist. It's not about freeing you. It's about, what I say earlier, what those 3 things? Cultural and racial superiority. Whose culture is held up in this religion? Not black folk, not the African culture. No, you don't see Africa in Christianity. You see Africans devoted to it, though. But you don't see Africa in it.
You sure don't.
Not one black contributor put anything in this here. Not one black contributor. Go to the Bible bookstore, grab the dictionaries of theology, and you'll see not one contributor is a black man or a woman. Go get the study helps. You'll see not one contributor is black. In fact, most of them are German. Kierkegaard. Yes. Baker. Yes. Woost. Yes. Holman. Yes. Schofield. Definitely. All of these European figures are the people who are the commentators of this that we as black African people are so committed to. Brothers and sisters, it took 751 years from the creation of the Serapis image in 320 BC to the Council of Ephesus in 431 AD to transform this European image into what is known today as Jesus the Christ.
Yes, yes.
Yep, I'm gonna stop it right there. Just to let that stuff soak in just enough, just like that Epsom salt when you need to take that good bath and get your bodies back in control from all that aching and pain you done went through this week from not believing in yourself and believing where you came from. Because once you know that you are made in the image of God, you will go out there and perform like a God and stop performing like a human being that got people hating on you. I don't like compete. I don't like doing anything because somebody hating on me. I don't want to do nothing. I don't want to do nothing in the name of they hating on me. You know what I'm saying? I want to do this because I want to get up and I want to do this. And I know whatever I'm getting up and wanting to do it, I know that I want to do it because that's what I'm good at. And that's why I want to go do it. I don't want to be stuck in those situations where I'm not good. You know what I'm saying? I'm not really accepting what's going on, but I got to accept it. You know what I'm saying? I like doing it because I love to do it instead of I'm doing this because this is what I got to do. There's 2 different type of lives that's being lived there. You know what I'm saying? And you can live it in the same lifetime. And if you keep waking up, you will experience what I just said and what I just mentioned. But hey, it's how you perform and how you bounce back from the stuff that was in your way that was so-called hindering you. It wasn't hindering you. It was just things that was just there to make you work a little harder in the workout. It was just like extra weights or something, a little extra add-on. That little situation that you just got out of, we made it a big situation because we forgot that we was made in the image. So therefore that situation kind of took a lot of energy away. But long as we keep living and accepting whatever it is that we are and however that we operate, and we accept the fact that it doesn't matter what the next person think, because they're going to think you're selfish if you operate in this field. Listen to me, what I'm telling you. The people gonna think you're selfish when you operate in the field to where you just don't give a fuck. Not that you don't give a fuck, because you do give a fuck, because it's a lot of things that other people seen that show that you really genuinely care. But when it comes to some stuff that they done taught us the whole time, and then when you got, as soon as you go against that shit, that's when they come and they try to knock you off your game. What are you talking about? Once you know that this shit was just, it's nothing. It's just built off a bunch. You create your own. I don't care whatever it is that you sign an application for. I don't care whatever it is that you sign anything for. Be in your own element and stand in your own element. And whatever you don't allow in your element, you don't allow in your element. Whatever you allow in your element, you allow in your element. That's the same thing as letting your yes mean yes and your no mean no. So if you are this type of person, stand on being that type of person. Don't be somebody, don't be another, don't imitate another person's style when you have your own style, knowing that your style is your style. And once you perfect your style, then you'll get the rewards from your style, because there are rewards from using the gifts. There is no reward if you go off and hide your gift. You need to make sure that your gift is present so it can get multiplied. Because now, if you're being consistent with the gift that was given to you, it will be multiplied. Now, if you believe that it's going to be multiplied, now it has to multiply by 3. Now it has to come to you so much that now that it came to you, just because you knew the simple code in the beginning, just the one easy little first method. The first thing they taught us in school was how to sound out letters that became words. And then they did the same thing with adding. They taught us adding before they taught us subtraction. And however it is, it's a formula. And once you get the formula down, pat, people, once you get that formula, you put it in one of the little test tubes and you put it in a little test tube rack. But now we got so much technology, you don't even have to do that. It's just certain ways that you can do it. Now, by me saying what I just said, it's always certain ways you can be successful. And don't worry about the way that you wanted to be successful didn't pan out. Don't give up, because that might not been the way. That way might just to sharpen you. So when you do get it, because you gotta get it because you put out effort to receive it. Look on the screen. You can see right there on the screen. You can see that film is not finished playing yet, because you can see how much they got in that zone right there. You can see how much it got before it's over with. I'm talking about the screen that we looking at, right? The screen that you're looking at right now, with me talking right there in the little box, and then Ray Hagen's right there. He doing his thing, and it's at 48:17, right? And there's pause right there. You know what I'm saying? You could be the one that's continually moving to make the movie, or you could be the one that's paused to get talked about and explained about. But anywhere it go, it's still good because you're being acknowledged. Once you're being acknowledged, you got to understand, okay, what you being acknowledged for? This is what I'm being acknowledged for. I'm acknowledged for thinking on my own. I am being acknowledged by other people because I thought on my own. That's where all the success comes from, when you start thinking for your own, and you don't have to let nobody else. And sometimes it's not nobody controlled. It was the teacher. That part, it wasn't the teacher fault, because the teacher just telling you how this book gonna be. And every year, this teacher got to tell you how this book gonna be. Now, this teacher didn't read it the first year because it was brand new, because it was both introduced to the teacher and the kids. Now, but this the 4th year, and now the teacher got several different ways of how to teach this book. Now, this one book is several different ways you could teach it, just because you had time to spend with that book. Now, if you had time to spend out on your actions that you put out every 10 years, and how you perform, and where you progress and where you regress, and where your pattern at, and what you do when your pattern come, and how you handle your pattern when your pattern do come, how do you handle your karma when it do come back, how do you handle your harvest when it do come back, how do you handle you when you dropping seeds, what type of things are you doing to protect the seeds that you putting out, what are you doing to make sure that your kingdom is clean so that your kingdom is clean? What are you doing to make sure that, hey, man, is this the kingdom that I wanted and that I said that I worked for to be in? Yes, that is the kingdom that you in. Whatever you in, you worked hard to get to where you was at in there. Whatever you in, you worked hard to get to where you was at right now. That's why you're there right now, because you worked hard to get there. So if you're there, you better be thankful for being there, because you could have been somewhere else. Then you're going to be put in a situation where you get to look at everybody else's shit, and then you'll be like, hey, man, my shit is not as bad as I thought it was. Let me get my shit together all the way, because it was a slack spot. It was a little tug, a little rubber. It was a little tug. You was trying to tug with it, but you was really wrestling with yourself. And that's the worst wrestling you can do, is with yourself, because you're always going to end up with an injury. So I like doing what I'm doing, because when they come the way that they come, I can't stop it, and they got to keep flowing. It'll be a different type of tone. It'll be a different type of voice. It'll be a different type of sound coming from this microphone and coming through where your speaker's at, to where you're receiving what I'm receiving, and everybody going in and out. They trying to see what it is that he's saying. He talking slick. He just talking, but no, they all know that everything that's being said is being used, because the ones who do utilize the power, they come and they get their energy and they charge up for the week, because they know, okay, this is the beginning of the week right now. This is not the weekend. Sunday is not the weekend. It's the beginning of the week. And this is how you start the beginning of your week out, with fireworks, believing in yourself, because you was made in the image, and you was made in the image of God. And if you are any type of vibration right now where you don't feel like you're a God, you better stand your stupid ass up and claim that, and stop sitting in that stupid ass filth and that flop. And you like that old dirty, nasty ass shit that you live in. You like that condition that you stand in. That's why you stand in there. I advise you to get away from that shit, because somebody, hey, they pulling and they recruiting too, just like the winners recruiting the winners. Hey, man, the ones that's over there that ain't trying to win, man, they trying. You know what I'm saying? You got a group of tries over there. You got a whole group of doers over there. The doers is promoting for the doers. The doers even trying to take some of them tries and bring them up there where they supposed to be. But nah, they want to stay down there where they want to be. Not where they supposed to be, where they want to be. Are you where you want to be, or where you supposed to be? Are you at where you want to be, or where you supposed to be? Where you supposed to be, you supposed to speak up on where you supposed to be. I ain't got to worry about how many people watching and what I'm saying. I got to be consistent and keep doing what I'm doing right now, so I can be successful in the long run. It ain't about the short run. It ain't about today, where it ain't nothing but one view. It ain't about that, man. How do you love your gift that was given to you? How do you use your gift that was given to you? Well, you make sure it's publicly known, so that everybody can see it, not just where you at, everybody in the world, because they do not want to go back to your hometown and do anything for your hometown, because your hometown, everybody over there, they got their goddamn arrows, and they arrows is in a draw position, ready for them to take flight off on you, just because you want to take a step forward and use your own brain and think for your own self, because, you know, that's a lot of years in a school district, to be in a school district. I'm talking for all the ones who graduated, to be in that school district and to learn their curriculum, and we had to learn that curriculum. Some of that shit, that curriculum was stuck with us. You know what I'm saying? Some of this shit helped us. Some of that shit didn't have nothing to do with us and how we living right now. Matter of fact, that shit made it worse. And it did you know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, look at the ones, okay, you got the ones who made it, the ones who didn't make it. And you know what I'm saying? And guess what, man? That time flip one more time, it's going to flip just like the people. You know what I'm saying? The people that didn't make it and the people that made it, they're going to slip slop. And the ones who going to sit up there and always continue to progress, well, shout out to them. Had to cut the microphone cut off. I'm one of them. I'm built from that cloth. And I appreciate everybody that is built from that cloth. I appreciate everybody that come in and tune in. Put the nines in the chat if you're rocking with me. Put the nines in the chat if you're rocking with me. Put the nines in them chats if you're rocking with me, man. Oh yeah, man. Later on, I'm gonna come later on this evening with a video or the reaction videos. But right now, this is make sense of what is Christianity. He just gave you the blueprint. If y'all didn't know what the hell we was watching, I'm gonna just tell you right now in a short brief of time, and we're gonna get the up out of here. I just know that man sit up there and described that it was another story with the same character playing in each story that was in different historical types of time periods. Which means, so if it was in this type of period, the same thing that happened here. If it was in this type of time span, it happened just like this here. And I'm just saying, you have stories of the Egyptian way, the Kemet and all that, and you got the one that the European one, the one that the Americas is on. We on the European schedule. We on the Roman Catholic. We on that. So now they're exposing a lot of things about the Roman Catholic. And hey, man, it's up to you to really, you know, with a grain of salt, which one you gonna stand on and which one you're not gonna stand on and which belief. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be a part of nothing. Well, you got to do that. Well, belief and, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, I'm gonna pick these set of rules over this set of rules. I'm gonna pick this set of rules over that set of rules. I don't want no parts of that, man. That do not sound like unity to me, and that unity sound like a certain frequency to me in my ears, and only I can hear it because I make that. You understand what I'm saying? Only I can hear that frequency because I'm the one that's putting out the frequency. So I should know what to hear. I know what that sounds like when you're being successful. You know that sound like in your mind when you are being successful. What I mean by being successful, it don't mean that you go to work every day or you go to church every day. That shit don't mean that you successful. The fuck? Going to church and going to work every day make you successful. Nah, that make you to where you know you can't miss a day because their ass gonna take away from that shit that you got to bring home. And a lot of people gonna be disappointed. They might not be disappointed and might rock with you, but hey, some families, hey man, some families gonna rock with you. Some families they not gonna rock with you. They gonna make a hard time when you get on hard times. See, it's about the people that be around you when you go through the hard times. Or they gonna go through the hard times with you, or they gonna try to escape or get out because you're going through the hard times. Because guess what? Anybody that's listening to what the hell I'm saying, your ass gonna go through a hard time. Hey man, this for entertainment purposes only. I'm only talking just to be talking. I ain't saying shit that's true. Nothing I'm saying is real, and that's all I'm saying to all the platforms they got me on here, and I'm standing up doing whatever it is that I be calling myself doing. And right now, this is make it make sense. That's what I'm doing, and it makes a lot of sense to tell y'all what is Christianity. That boy broke down that it was different types of groups and different types of ages that was doing the same type of thing. So, and when it led up to where we at right now with the Western and the Western hemisphere of things and the European way of things, this is where we at right now, and it's called Christianity. Where they found out Christos, because you all know that Jesus wasn't back then with the J, because you know you got to take the letter J back. And I'm just saying, if you got to do all this stuff to some stuff that is just, if you got to do all that, I mean, they lied to us in the beginning. If we had to do all that, that mean they lied to us in the beginning. So I ain't even got to waste my breath and go through all the rest of the bullshit, huh? I could just live knowing that I was made in the image of God. So therefore, I can do anything that God said he did, right? Especially in the red, anything in the red that God did, I can do that shit too. Y'all just split the Red Sea. Okay, all right. You stand your stupid ass in the ocean with a stick if you want to and try to move some water. You know what I'm saying? Or you can just take it as, hey, man, any obstacle that come my way, whatever fucking odds I'm standing against, I know that the gods that created me didn't make me no pussy, and they made me strong enough to where I'm going to get through this shit and I'm going to make it no matter what the fuck. That's why you should be putting them nines in the chat if you a bad motherfucker like that. And don't let the motherfucking people tell you it's a certain way you got to say what I'm saying to enlighten some people. It's a certain way that you got to say it, or it's a certain way that you got to put it on, or it's a certain type of cloth that you got to have, or it's a certain type of one. However you deliver it, you deliver that goddamn message, and you don't stop delivering the message. That's what I want to tell the people who got a message to deliver, because they can't stop. Your ass got an M in the middle of your hand, because I got an M in the middle of mine. And if you're looking at your palm right now, then you know that you're a superior being anyway. You understand what I'm saying? You do my life chart. My life chart is at 33. I'm a master teacher. That's why I know when I be speaking, I know I be speaking nothing but ether. And the stuff be coming out and I can't control it, and it just flow like water. Man, I know that in the beginning, there was not a start. There was a starter kit to the bullshit that they be feeding us in all these lies. I don't want to be rapping on here, man. I'm going to just be quiet. But I'm just telling you, this is making make sense at 3 p.m. And yeah, this is Galveston Podcast, the platform. I be on it, and I ain't gonna stop being on it, because I gotta keep bringing the stuff to where we got to see it. And guess what? You know what I'm saying? One day this will form to where it'll be a community, and the community, watch how beautiful we gonna treat the community, how the community gonna treat each other. You know what I'm saying? Once we get into that umbrella, I'm claiming that right now, and y'all gonna make it happen. I don't give up if it's just two people. I'm gonna take those two people in that village. We gonna rock, and we gonna help the other people, and then they gonna come in and they want to flock. But they should have flocked when it wasn't nothing in the beginning, because it ain't no stopping, and it ain't no stopping me now, and it won't stop. And I ain't. I'm not. Yeah. Shout out to the people who created this platform for us to be on here, so we could display these. You know, it's just important that we keep up with the stuff that's happening everywhere, not just. Because some of us ain't watching the bullshit no more. Some of us ain't watching Channel 11 News at 5 o'clock. We ain't watching the bullshit no more. Don't nobody want to raise they goddamn, they just getting off of work and they getting everything together. Kids coming home, everybody have a good day. As soon as they cut the news on, everybody sitting down getting ready to eat, and the goddamn somebody got shot. Come on, bro. That is not how that shit go. I got some nines in the chat. I see. I got some nines in the chat. Gotta put them up in the thing. But yeah, man, I appreciate y'all for rocking with me, man. This is making make sense. I'll be coming back with y'all again, man. I'm gonna come back with y'all every Sundays at 3 p.m. I'm gonna finish. I told you I got a series. What is Christianity? What is Christianity? I'm gonna go next. It's gonna be part 2. I probably want to make this a 7-part series. I want to make it a series. Y'all tune in. It's gonna get real interesting with the same guy. Y'all gotta watch my reaction videos because my reaction videos gonna tie into the make it make sense on Sundays, if you know what I'm talking about. I want to make it suspenseful, but at the same time to where you can receive this knowledge, and then after you receive this knowledge, man, I can't make you do nothing else with the knowledge, man. It's up to you to do whatever it is you want with the knowledge. And hey, man, it might not be knowledge to you, but if you apply some of that, then the magic will happen. Come see about me, the platform, and I thank y'all for rocking with me. Good night.
For me to know we here now, believe it, bro, cause I am on my shit. And you know it's true. Ask your bitch, she know it too. Why you think she can up with the crew? I am on my shit. Can you see me? No. Everybody always wanna see me flow. I show stop every scene I'm on, cause I am on my shit.
I'm on mine. They know why. She's so shy. I'm so fly. The thought of it open up her eye. The grind in me, she say that's my guy. Pine cone fresh, she asks why. Fresh head to toe, baby girl, you'll be surprised. Boss status, we some wise guys. Super size, baby girl, you're small fry. Do something like that, I'm nothing like that. Whole Southside nigga, you boss, I'm back. The more you hate it just makes me laugh. Don't be mad at me, you need to be mad at yourself. Can't stand backstabbers, talk about you and laugh with you. Then they get mad at you when you learn how to deal with them. Humble heart and I got no patience, ignorance and I'm not gonna take it. Tequila shot and I don't even taste it. Promethazine, expensive tasting. 6 and 8 and I stay betting. Bet the boy, you know I'm drinking. Get it, I'm the drink man. Purple like the Kool-Aid man. Patty cake, I got a baker's hand. Get rid of these grams as fast as I can. Roll it up, put one in the air, man.
Open lap the race, always at first, cause that's the place. Don't know what I'm on if that's the case, bitch. I am on my shit, and they see it though. What I got most for me to know, we here now, believe it, bro, cause I am on my shit. And you know it's true, ask your bitch, she know it too. Why you think she can up with the crew? I am on my shit. Can you see me? No, everybody always wanna see me flow. I show stop every scene I'm on, cause I am on my shit.